Traveling can make it seem difficult to stick to a certain diet or eating lifestyle. And since Nick and I travel pretty often and we often get asked the question, how do we eat while we travel? I wanted to give you 5 tips for traveling as a vegan. So, the first tip is to simply find a grocery store. You can stock up on fruits, veggies, nuts, and seeds, and without having a kitchen, you can throw together salads and snacks and chips and hummus and things like that are very easy. On the other hand, if you're staying in a place that has a kitchen, you can also get things like rice, quinoa, beans, and other items that you like to cook. So that's pretty easy. The second tip is finding juice and smoothie bars. So one thing we like to do a lot is as soon as we get somewhere, we'll start searching for a juice and smoothie bar. And a lot of times they will also have smoothie bowls. And so usually if we're in the mood for breakfast or a snack or a light dinner, that is our top choice. We never get sick of juices, smoothies, and smoothie bowls, and they're pretty much everywhere. And the only thing is you have to sometimes be careful with the ingredients, so just ask and make sure there's no dairy or whatever you're trying to avoid. The third tip is to just go to regular restaurants and tell the server your eating restrictions. So if you're trying to avoid meat and dairy, either find something on the menu that doesn't have meat or dairy, or find a vegetarian option and ask them to take off the cheese. Or a lot of times, even the sides are totally vegan. Like you can get a baked potato and steamed broccoli. And although that is not near as exciting when you're at a restaurant, you want to treat yourself. But if you're trying to stick to certain foods, we have yet to go to a regular restaurant and not be able to still find something we can eat to keep to our vegan diet. The fourth tip would be to find vegan restaurants. So not every place has these. They're harder to find. But normally bigger cities or trendier places will at least have one vegan restaurant. And the downside is they tend to be more expensive because it's specialty food. And but it's nice because at home, Nick and I don't cook things with tofu, and we don't always get real creative. And so it is a treat to go somewhere and have them do the work and get the weird ingredients, and we just simply eat it there and decide if we like it. Then if we like it, we can buy the ingredients and go home and make it. But if not, it's a one and done, and I'm glad I did it at a restaurant kind of thing. And the last tip would be just to stock up on snacks. So either find a grocery store or health food store where you are, or before you leave for your trip, go ahead and go to your local grocery store and stock up on a protein powder you like, or protein bars, fruits and veggies that you like, nuts and seeds, and take a cooler with things that you can snack on. And even, if it comes down to it and you can't find a place to eat, have a backup for some kind of meal. It's not always the best when you're really hungry. There's only so much you can eat from snacks, but at least you won't be super hungry and you can't find a place to eat, and so you end up making a bad choice that you regret later. So the main thing is just be prepared. Be willing to be flexible. Be willing to research the area. Get creative. And when you are someplace like a restaurant or grocery store, smoothie bar, wherever you are, don't be afraid to ask questions from the workers. And usually, at restaurants, I will ask, one time I had shrimp and grits and asked them, can you leave off all the shrimp and cheese and instead put a lot of mushrooms and caramelized onions. And the girl thought it was so weird. She kept like double checking and triple checking that's really what I wanted. And it was. And then when the food came out, she kept asking me over and over, do I really like it? And I did. It was really good, but it was like she couldn't believe I would like it. So it makes for a lot of interesting conversations, but most times people are very willing to help, and they end up like intrigued and want to sit around and watch you eat and see if you like it. So we love traveling, and we like to eat good food, and we have never had a problem getting something that we want to eat. And it's not always convenient, but it is possible. So I would say if you're trying to stick to a certain diet, whether it is vegan or you're doing something else like keto or paleo, there's like a million options out there. Just go to the lengths that you need to keep to your diet so that you don't feel disappointed with yourself. And especially if you're on a diet because you feel better, you don't want to be on a trip away from home and not feel well. So it's worth it. So anyway, I hope my tips helped. The 5 tips for traveling as a vegan. And I hope you come back and keep watching my future videos. Bye!